G'day fellow space engineers, I'm Monstad and welcome back to my little adventure. As you can see, I'm in a new suit. I did buy this one, it's part of the new DLC that came out. And I thought, well, I'm making YouTube videos, so I should look my best, even if it cost me a few dollars, which it did. But I'll talk about the new DLC shortly. As you can see, my ship is like carbon type effect, nice and clean, but I'll talk about DLC in a short while. First of all, what I want to do is show you what I found in between episodes. Platinum, boo boo boo, and some uranium as well. What's that one? That should be uranium over there, shouldn't it? And uranium down there. Okay, so if I go to my GPS stuff, in between episodes, with the big nose detector, and I do apologise, it's been a little while between episodes. As I mentioned before, I don't do this full time as a living, and sometimes real life does get in the way of a recording because it takes time to produce, such perfection. But I try and keep up with it as much as I can, but occasionally real life does just interrupt it every now and then. So as you can see, roids. So if we start from the roids and go down, you can see that list goes on and on and on and on. It took me forever to find uranium. I eventually found some uranium, that one first, and then I found that one. There's loads of uranium in that one, but I nearly got hit by a space pirate drone at that point and had to scarper, and then eventually found platinum. Holy shamoly Batman, it took forever. They really have spread the resources out now. It looks like there's about 2 resources per asteroid, as a few people pointed out in the comments. I can confirm that seems to be exactly what it is now. Platinum and uranium seem to be much further spread apart now and more difficult to find. Yeah, so here we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine a bit of this and then I'm going to go over and mine some uranium, whilst have a little chat about how the series is going to progress from here. Have I got my ejectors on? I've got them on rock, to eject rock. I don't really want the rock. Hang on, where's Earth? Let's find Earth. There it is, that lovely blue planet over there. So as you remember from the beginning of the season, the objective of this one was to, the premises we were stranded on Europa and by Mars and had to get back to Earth. So we're at a point now where with platinum and uranium, quite frankly, I could build a jump drive, power it, put a connector on it, connect a small ship like this to that connector, and just fly back, jump all the way back to Earth. Season over, job done, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, all done. But that would be a little bit boring, I think. A little bit boring. I don't want to fill up with this platinum because I want to leave plenty of room for uranium. I don't want to have to keep doing loads and loads of trips. Yeah, so I've decided I'm not going to use jump drives to get back to Earth. I'm going to fly all the way back under our own steam. So what I'll do is a live stream for 8 hours of me flying through the darkness at 100 meters per second. No, I won't do that because that would be extremely boring. But I think the distance to Earth from Europa is about 2,500 kilometers. Now 100 meters per second, what's that? Mass off the top of my head. That's about 360 kilometers per hour. 2,500. You're talking what, 7.5, 8 hours fly time approximately at full speed to get between the two places. It's a bit of a lengthy journey and a long game time, so I need to I was thinking to myself, I need some stuff to do in between. So how much platinum do we have? 27, 7.4 there. Where's our medium cargo container? Oh, I've still got some ice taking up space in that one. Okay, we've got a bit of space. I'm going to get a little bit more, then I'm going to go and get a load of uranium. Because I shouldn't need too much platinum. I need the platinum for the ion engines, primarily. The uranium I need for power, lots of. So we're thinking I need to do something during this journey. Now, I had a good think about that. And there's a few things actually we can do if I don't completely demolish my ship in the meantime. Now, if you're a veteran to space engineers, you'll be aware that the devs do occasionally spatter space with debris, with wrecks, spacecraft wreck and space station wrecks. And you know, even in a game like this, you know, space is big. Coming across these by accident is almost impossible. Where's the nearest one? 29, 21. This one. Okay, we'll go to this one. What I'll do is I'll cut there and I'll see you at the uranium asteroid. So I'll see you in just a moment. Later. Okay, welcome back. So we're at our uranium now. There's not a lot in this little spot. I'm hoping it's bigger than it looks. As long as we can fill up, that's the main thing. So what was I saying? Yeah, space is big. So the devs do dot around wreckages, as I was saying, wreckage of spacecraft and wreckage of space stations, and they're usually booby trapped. Ooh, you said booby. And they're usually mined. They're quite dangerous places, easy to die, easy to get your stuff destroyed if you're not careful, but they're almost impossible to find randomly. Really, really difficult. So what I do have, I'm like I said, I'm going to do this primarily vanilla and without mods. Am I even getting uranium now? Is that all of the uranium from that spot? I'm saying there's some there. I should be ejecting stone. Eject the stone. Why isn't the stone ejecting? They're both on. Let me check. Let me check. Oh, I'm not getting stone, that's why. Am I getting uranium? Not a lot of it. So, yeah. But I have installed a small mod. It's called Active Radar, and what this does is it can detect bodies up to about 50 kilometers, and it doesn't tell you what they are. It simply says it's a small object or a medium object or a large object, etc. And you can do some settings on it, and it's a case of going to investigate what the contact is, and I think that's worth it. So that gives us the opportunity to go and do some salvage and exploration on the way back to Earth. That's one of the things I want to do. The other thing I want to do is attack a few space stations, pirate space stations, and I've got a couple of ideas in mind for some weapons that I can use specifically against space stations to try and neutralize their defenses, so that we can then go in, capture it and salvage the station, or maybe just take it over, who knows. So that's a second thing I want to do. Another thing that I want to do is am I getting uranium here? There goes all the stone. Is build a kind of midway refueling station between Mars and Earth. The Mars-Earth refueling station, MERS. And that I want to do is build that against or into a uranium asteroid, around about halfway, and put a jump point there so it can always get back to it if we need to. I have no idea if I'm getting uranium. Got 15.8 there. I don't seem to be getting much uranium from this, do I? Even though it says uranium there. Have they changed the colour of it? Is that it now? Or have I just not reached it? Have I just not reached it yet? Do you know what? Let's have a look. How much do I have? 16.5k. Is that full? No. I'm not convinced that there's uranium here. Oh, I am getting it. Okay. A lot of stone as well. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. Find some wrecks, salvage those after disabling their mines, attack some space stations that belong to pirates, possibly a couple of their ships as well, and also build a midway station halfway for a refueling station against an asteroid that has uranium on it. And I think that would be pretty cool. And to do this, I've got an idea in mind for a large ship. Now this is going to be an asteroid deep core mining vessel. Sort of makes sense. So the way I'm going to design this is with an extendable drilling system that should be able to extend about 150 meters into an asteroid. So the idea for this ship is some extendable landing gear. So landing gear on top of pistons will extend out, clamp onto an asteroid. Once it's clamped on directly with a drill section directly above a deposit, then we switch on the drilling system, the deep core drilling system, and it can drill. Should be able to drill down about 150 meters into the asteroid, thereby getting a good portion of the resource. In addition to that, it'll dig up a lot of stone, but the stone won't be wasted because that'll all be turned into iron, nickel and silicon, as stone is, and gravel of course. I'll probably need to get some kind of ejection system for gravel. I think I need to try and find a way out of this. So is this what the uranium looks like now? It's not very obvious, is it? Let's make a gap here so I can get out of this hole and have a look at what I'm doing. Oh, I see. I'm stuck in a hole. Have I done any damage? I don't think I have. Oh, there's still uranium there. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's really difficult to tell, actually, the difference between the uranium and the rock. Well, I'm not chucking out rock out the back when I'm drilling this bit, so that must be... oh, not much anyway. So that must be primarily uranium. So that's the plan. So I'm going to dig some of this, then I'm going to get back down to the base and I'm going to lay the first couple of blocks for this ship, and hopefully it will make sense. So I'm going to carry on digging this until my cargo containers are full of uranium, and then I'll get back to you. So I'll see you in just a while. Bye! Okay, welcome back. We've just connected, put the batteries on recharge, and that should all be... oh, it's already emptied out of that one. Cool beans. So it's all that uranium is now processing. Brilliant. Now the way I'd set up the sorters, it should allow uranium to go all the way through to this large cargo container. Cool. Yeah, so I changed the skin on these to the carbon skin. I got the carbon skin as part of the DLC. The free bits of the DLC, I forgot a P menu. I don't want to change the colours. You've got the carbon fibre is the one I paid for, but the clean armour. Oh, I'm so glad they introduced clean armour, because usually when you put your armour pieces down, they have that scratched and dirty feel to them. But now you can have it clean, and it looks so much better. It really does look so much better, I think, all round. This is the carbon effect though, but the clean effect looks really nice as well. The other thing they've introduced, biggest one, is they've obviously listened to people about inventory management, and now you can queue up some stuff. I've got those things in my hotbar there because they're the first pieces I'm going to put down for this new ship. But you've got to... oh, I didn't really need that in there. Have I still got stuff in my inventory? Yeah, let's get rid of all that. So what you can do, you go to your G menu, you can put things in your hotbar like this as normal, or you can, additional to that, you can put them in a build planner. So I don't need that, but what I'm going to need is a piston. So I'm going to pop that into a build planner, and I'm going to need a landing gear, the large ones. And so it'll tell you what you need, and then when you go to here, if I go into that, you can see these down the side here. You can withdraw components for the build planner, control for 10, etc. But so also what you can do is press your middle mouse button and it will take what you need there. All components successfully withdrawn. So what I should have in here is enough for... That doesn't look like enough for a large piston, does it? Let's have a look. Large piston and a landing gear. That was nowhere near enough, was it? Let me see. So, landing gear, large, 6 motors, 20 construction. I think that's okay. It's cheaper than I thought. And a piston for a large ship. Oh yeah. Oh, they are pretty cheap, aren't they? So obviously they've taken an idea from. Is this inventory script, inventory management, where you can click to get stuff out that you want for the build planner? But such a good thing. Such a good thing. Right. First of all, what I want to do with this build, it's going to be pretty big, but I want to get one of the landing gear in first and foremost with the piston. And from that, I'm probably going to have the front facing that way. This will be the left side of the ship. Then it'll go. There'll be another landing gear over on the right, another landing gear up forward, another landing gear aft, and then they will clamp down onto an asteroid. And the center area here will be the drill array that can drill deep into the core of the asteroid, and then the ship will be above it. And I'm thinking what I might do, the shape of the ship is similar to this, because I really like the shape of this. So the top section above the drill array will be the main ship that will house all the other stuff, including living quarters for our long journey back to Earth. Can we see Earth? I'm sure we could see it from here. I thought we could. Maybe we can't. Oh, the alien planet we can see. I don't think we can see Earth from our vantage point. So the tricky bit is getting this landing gear, because if you put a large landing gear, it will be upside down. So I can't put that straight down. Plus I need a piston on top of it, and the piston needs to push the landing gear out, but I can't put a piston down. If you put a piston down, you can only put it down that way. So the bit that pushes out is at the top there, so I can't put it that way. So what I've got to do is build a little platform here. That should be enough for about a piston, landing gear, boom. I'll go one more, and I'll go 2 out this way. I do want to leave that one connected, so I can put the piston underneath here. Ba-boom. And now what I can do is put the landing gear attached to the bottom of this piston. Which way do I want it? I think I want it that way, don't I? Is that right? Looks about right. So I should have the components to build this. I do want, the other reason I'm welding this up is because I want to see, I want to ensure that it locks when it hits the ground. So it didn't give me the components for the top piston part. Oh, that's interesting. That's a bit of a fault. It should give you everything you need for the piston, shouldn't it? But that's not a big deal at the moment. The main thing I want is this, so I can see that it locks. So what I'm going to do now is cut off this bit here, and hopefully it will drop nice and flat and lock as it did. And I don't want to weld that bit up, because I will end up putting a... Oh no, I don't need... I will weld that up, because I won't need this piston to be connected through to a conveyor. What am I building it as? Clean. Yeah, so that's the clean look for the steel. Yeah, God, so much nicer. And, I mean, the dirty steel, scratch steel, there's a place for it, there's a time and place for it, but, you know, not in a new build. So that landing gear has now locked. The other nice thing I can do now is that if I add power to this, I could extend this up if I feel like my build is going to clash with the ground, because it may well do going out that way, because the ground slopes upwards. So I may have to bring the build up at some point. So, but that's the first blocks. for the build. Now, the next question is, where do I want the drill array? So, what do I need for? Let me get some basic components. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get 100 of those, 100 of those, 100 of those. That's the usual stuff that you need to build the frame of most things. I don't need this now either. Okay, good. All right. Yeah. Now, the bottom of the drill pieces, I want to line up with about here on this. So if I can't touch, I can touch to that. This is just a marker. So that is the point where I want the center drill head to line up to with here. Because what I want to be able to do is, before I attach to an asteroid, I will extend the landing gear out full on the piston, attach to the asteroid, and then retract the landing gear, therefore bringing the ship down as close as possible to the asteroid as safely as possible, and then getting the drill pieces as close to the ore deposit as possible. And it will be a square array of drill pieces, probably 7 by 7, and then the pistons will extend one at a time, pushing the drills down, and we'll mine down about 150 meters into it. And that's the basics of this particular thing. So I want a walkway around the drills. So how much I want that? So probably want to be coming out at least one from the landing gear there. I could have the walkway. I do need an internal section here for machinery and parts, etc. So I believe initially about 3, 1, 2, 3. Wall. Walkway. It's going to be a pretty big ship. And then how much space do I want to leave between the drill bits and the walkway? I'd have thought probably 2. So walkway, space, space. No, we'll go for 1. Let's go for 1. So I want the first drill bit to come down here. If I find that's not enough, for machinery, I can always move the walkway back 1 and then build this out another 1 to create space inside the ship. I hope that all made sense. It can't. I've got it in my mind, pictured, but yeah, put it into practice. So the first drill bit should be, what did I say? Walkway, 1 space, drill bit. The first drill bit should end here, the drill head. Now let's get a drill initially, see how far it comes down. Can I move this away from me? I'm certain you used to be able to move the parts away from you with Control Scroll. So that, let's pop that there. So that needs to be down 1 further than that. I can't build the drills now because they'll be attached to pistons and conveyors, and of course the piston isn't exact blocks, the length of it, so it would be odd. So I've got to build it from here around down into the pistons and then add the drill bits to the pistons at the end. So what I've got to try and determine at this point in time is where the last conveyor block will be. The pistons start, then I can build the pistons up from there. Or I should say, what I can do is build a platform out here, put a piston onto it, and then build the drills down. I hope that made sense. What I'll go and do is just top up my energy. The rest of the build should be a fairly straightforward large ship build. It's just this first bit to get the drill array in the right spot, at the right level, the right height, attached to the pistons. This is the tricky bit. Once this bit's been built, the rest, as they say, is a piece of cake. A piece of cake. So what do I want? I want a piston. I need some conveyors. Mainly just, yeah, it's just those conveyors I need at the moment. So let's get rid of that. And that should be the top of the drill. Walkway, space. Yeah, that's about the level that I want the drills to come down to. Now I'm going to leave that there for now as a marker. Like I said, I can't build up from this, otherwise it won't join to this because the pistons are not exact blocks. Okay. So how high is a piston? That's the next question. How high is a piston? 1, 2. Is that all? Just 2 blocks roughly when it's not extended? Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up with a conveyor port there. Then there's the piston. Then there's another conveyor port there. And then conveyors will come along this way, which means I'll need to connect about that height. Okay, cool beans. So what I can do now, hope this is making sense, is build up from here till I get to roughly that height. So drill, conveyor, piston, conveyor. Conveyor ports will run under the roof bit there. So that is actually about the right height for the steel blocks. So what I can do now is destroy all of that. Build out here. I need to go one more, don't I? Boom. Okay, so what I need now is a conveyor block. I hope this is going to work. A piston. Now I can't put the drill on yet until I've finished the piston array, because this will wind around this area. You'll see what I mean in a moment, but what I can do is just pop this and the drill bit on at the moment, just so that I can make sure that we're still at the right height. Yes. Yes. Good. That's looking good. Now I can get rid of that one. I can get rid of these because they were just marking the spot. And now what I can do is start actually building this piston array. So this is going to be let's see, that is locked, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. So what I need to do is which way should I go around first? Let's go around this way. A couple of curly ones there. Couple of straight ones. Wow, that unknown signal's coming down close, isn't it? Yeah, let's go that way. No, let's go. Or do I want to go? Actually, I will go that way. So will be that one facing down, and then there'll be another piston there, and it's a case of repeating this design. Oh, I've gone. Do you know what I've done? Oh, hang on. Let me take these off. What I failed to remember there is I'm going to be doing a 7x7 drill array. So the first piston won't actually be here. This is in line with the first drill. So the first piston will actually be, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, just count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the center one. Let's just put a block there to mark that. So that is actually where the center piston will be. Again, I hope that makes sense. Let's get rid of these. So conveyor ports will, I'll put them in now actually. Conveyor ports will run under this area here back towards inside the ship. Yep. Give me enough room to walk around? Yeah, it does. Cool. Right, let's pop that on again. And this should now begin to start making sense. Let's go backwards first. One, two. Oh, that's not going to fit, is it? Oh, fiddlesticks. That won't fit. So either I need to raise that up by 1, which isn't a big deal, or I need to run that through there and run the conveyor across the top of that area. I think I'll do that actually, because these small conveyors here are in the way, but I'll need to secure this before I chop that one off. Boom. Oh no, actually I'm going to have to attach it to this one, aren't I? Dope. So I'll just stick another conveyor block there. I'm going to stick one there because I might have it running both. I haven't decided which way I'm going to run it. So we'll have a conveyor system running through there. Again, I hope that makes sense. So I should be able to chop these little securing blocks off now. Yeah, forget that one. Right, now I should be able to do this. Okay, so that. Hope this is making sense. It will in a minute. Piston. Can I go in again? Don't think I can I? So one, two. No, let's turn it this way. So I need about 15 pistons altogether to be able to enable this to lower 150 meters. Why won't that go onto there? It will go onto there. I just wasn't placing it properly. And then we'll go this way again. Thank goodness for hydrogen jetpacks. Another piston. Come on, attach. Okay, so what we'll do then, see, you should be able to see what's happening now. So there's the first piston connected to the next one, and they're all connected. So if all of these pistons lower, they will extend. Do you know what? I might weld these up and just put some power on it and test it. They should extend completely all the way down.
Energy low.
Yeah, at different levels, because this one, that's the final one we put on. This first one will push all of the other stuff down 10 meters. The second one will push all the rest of it down another 10 meters. The third one will push the remaining stuff down 10 meters, and so on and so on. I hope that makes sense. I keep saying that, but I got it in my mind. It's sometimes it's difficult to show you when it's just the frames. But so that's how it will work. And then attached to the bottom of these will be the drill bits. I guess we could attach the drill bits actually, so we know what the space that we're dealing with. So let's pop one of those on there and pop that there. So what we're looking at is a 7x7 drill array. So 2, 3, 4. That's as far as I think I want to go out that way. So there's 7 there, and then we want 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like that. So I'm going to destroy these ones at the moment because I need to continue adding more and more pistons, and that's the final piston I put on. So I need a corner conveyor on that and carry on going around. But just to so you understand, that's the size of the drill array. I could probably even squeeze it 8. We'll see. But all the space above this will be taken up by pistons that will extend. So we may even be able to get it more than 150 meters deep. Who knows? I'll just see how many pistons I can squeeze on there. Really, that's the key thing. I am inviting clang, big time. But you know, the game's a lot more stable now than it ever used to be, and I think you can do a lot more of it, a lot more engineering stuff than you ever could previously. But I tell you what, we're going to test it, that's for sure. We are going to test it, I can tell you. So that will make up like the center undercarriage of this ship, and then the rest of the ship will be built around it. So the rest of the ship is basically just a delivery system for this mining array. So we just clamp onto an asteroid, deep drill down into the core of the asteroid, drilling out the resources that we've clamped on above, plus a load of stone, and then just move on to the next asteroid, and that's how it will work. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then we'll have a nice walkway going all the way around this bit. What I'm probably also going to need to do as well is add one more landing gear that I can extend to clamp on to the drill array when we're in flight. Otherwise this thing is in danger of shaking itself to pieces. But that should be easy enough to do. Once I've figured out how far it needs to go, I can just put a control panel at the top on the walkway up here, and then just press a button when I'm finished drilling and everything's been retracted. The securing clamp will move out, clamp on, and then that'll be it. And when we're ready to drill, we just take off the clamp, press another button, and start off the drill array. And as long as these pistons are moving slowly enough, we should be able to just let it run, extend fully. As long as they're moving slowly, we'll be able to keep up with the drilling with the drill bits as well. Yeah, might be able to put another drill bit on actually, looking at that. We may well be able to do that. Actually, that's the centerpiece, isn't it? Okay. Right, well, I'm going to take all these off because I don't need these on until the entirety of the piston stage has been put on. Cool beans. Where did I leave that one? Let's pick up my crap. What I'm also going to do is I'm not going to weld all this by hand or with a ship because there's going to be all sorts of bits, as you can see inside there, you simply will not be able to get to either by hand or with the ship. So I am going to use Bob, the nanobot build and repair system, for this build. So what I'll do is should be able to dig in through here to that's what I wanted. And then I can bring out a conveyor system along here to get pretty close to the ship, and then I can just add that there. In fact, I can do that now, don't I? I've got the stuff. Let's do one of those. Boom. Because the nanobot build and repair system only has a 75-meter range, the large ones, the large ship ones. And then I can just pop that. There. And what I'll also do is grab a control panel. This is my kind of walkway, my control area for this. Yeah, go on, add it there, perfect. And then what I can do is set that button panel there to switch on and off the nanobot build and repair as and when I need it. So the next thing I need to do is queue up a load of components. Now, one thing I didn't explain when I set up my system, particularly the assemblers, so let's use this is what I put this for, a little access terminal. So if we go into production, I've got my assemblers. I've got 3 assemblers, not including the survival kit, and I've got them for cooperative mode. Let's get to the first one. Okay, that cross through there means cooperative mode is not enabled. When it looks like that, it means it's enabled. Now, cooperative mode, the way it works is you have to have one assembler as your master assembler. I always use the one that automatically comes up first when you go into production, so I changed that to master. That one needs to remain off of cooperative mode. All the other assemblers have to be switched to cooperative mode, and then it will work. It took me ages to work that out when I first used the cooperative mode on the assemblers, but that's how you get your assemblers to work together. The other thing I'm going to do now is queue up. Don't know if you knew you could do this, but I'm going to queue up blocks or components, or actually pieces of equipment to build for this particular thing. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to do all the pistons and the drills, because that's the first thing I want to build, because I want to be able to I'm going to drill down into the ice a little bit, because I want to fill up the drill bits with ice, because when I put an O2 generator on there and start generating some hydrogen, because I want to keep some hydrogen on board. I'm not using a hydrogen engine for this, I'm using ion engines, but I may need to add a couple of hydrogen engines to get the thing off of Europa in the first place. So pistons, I'm going to queue up about 20. So control, click, 10, 20. Should be about right. Drills, I can't remember how many I need. 7 by 7. Oh, I think I'll go for 8. I might go for 8 by 8. There's 50. We'll go for 60 of them. That's the first thing I'm going to need. Then I'm going to need a load of conveyor stuff. Where's the conveyors? Large ship conveyor stuff. Where are you? Where are you? I could use the search. Now they've put a search bar in there. I should use it really, shouldn't I? Where's the conveyor block itself? Really? I missed an N? Oh, they don't have it there. It's conveyor junction, but that's not the one I want. You are not the conveyor junction I'm looking for. I'm going to queue up 10 of those. I'm going to queue up quite a lot of those. So that should be all the components, as long as I've got the materials for it that I need. Oh wow, that's a lot of a lot of steel plate, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of steel plate. And then what I can do is just continue queuing up. I'm going to have to go up and get a load of stone from one of the asteroids because I'll need a load of gravel to build the thingy jigs, the nuclear reactors. Oh, so I'm going to put 2 of those on. It's the reactor components. We need the reactor components. Where are you? Reactor components, gravel, quite a lot of gravel. 6.67 per one. And a load of silver as well. Okay, I'm going to have to do some mining for stone and silver. And ion engines, the large ones. Yeah. Oh, lots of platinum. We did get a lot of platinum though, which is great. Holy cow. The large ones, 128 platinum ingots per large ion thruster. I may need to get some more platinum as well. And a lot of gold. And a lot of cobalt. I'm going to have to do some serious mining to get this thing built. Anyway, so yeah. I won't bore you with building all that off on camera. I think we've probably gone on too long now anyway. But yeah, I think I've got this. I'm fairly happy with the spacing for that. That should be good. Yeah, like I said, might even be able to get 8 drills along there, an 8x8 drill system. That would be even better. But I was kind of planning initially on 7x7. And then once we've built this central area here, I can get the next leg positioned on this side and then start building the upper part of the ship, which will house refineries, all the factory systems, the reactors, living quarters. We've got a long journey ahead of us. Need some living quarters. Oh yeah. Oh yes indeed. Press the right buttons. Not Monstad. Press the right buttons. Boom. Okay, well, I'm going to call it an episode there. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.